This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, guys, thank you for joining us in today's business networking activity. What I've done, you may have noticed very quickly, I muted everybody because there was a little bit of background noise, plus sometimes there's kids or dogs, something running around. So usually we divide these sessions sort of into three parts. The first part is I'll mute everybody one at a time in the same order that I have them here on my list, so you can introduce yourself to the group, take a minute or two to say your name, your company, maybe geographically where you are, and what is your product or service, and maybe what an ideal customer client referral would be for you. And then once we're done with that, I'll open it up for everybody to have sort of a group conversation. And then that we can also do in two parts. I'm hoping that as part of the introductions, maybe that'll trigger some questions in your mind, or things you want to ask or learn about, whatever. And also, or maybe set up a separate conversation for some other point in time. And then beyond that, if we have a little bit of time, I'd like to keep this to 30, 45 minutes. But if we have a little bit of time, then just go into a general business conversation. We can talk about the coronavirus, of course, because that seems to be the topic everybody wants to talk about. But if we want to talk about anything else that's business related, anything is fair game. So hope that makes sense. And like I said, I'll just go right in the order that I have people here in the system. So Barbara, you're first, if you could, and I know you've done this before with us, so if you could please introduce yourself to the rest of the group.
Sure. So I'm Barbara Klein. I'm the owner of The Best You Dating and Life Coaching, and I love helping people experience their valuable gifts so they can let me restate that because it's wrong. I love helping people discover their valuable gifts so that they can experience growth and results.
Excellent. All right. Evan, go ahead. You're number 2 on my list.
Did you unmute me, Sal?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Hey, everyone. My name is Evan Rose. I'm the owner at Best Buy Uniforms. We're a uniform and apparel company located in Homestead, PA, which is a little south of Pittsburgh. So what we do is we help businesses with their apparel. So anywhere from, occupational needs like chef coats, scrubs, lab coats, workwear, all the way to the more casual needs like polos, hoodies, t-shirts, jackets, basically anything that a company would need to uniform their staff, we would supply them. And why businesses like us and why we work with businesses is because if you can imagine, shopping for yourself can get pricey. Shopping for 50 to 100, 150 employees gets pretty pricey. So we're wholesale. So we work with manufacturers such as Nike, North Face, Eddie Bauer, and some other non-name brands. And we put a ton of volume into them, into their products, and in turn they give us really good discounts, which then we can turn around and give heavily discounted prices to our end users, which are usually business owners, small to medium-sized businesses. So that's kind of where we show our value is we help businesses uniform their staff without having to pay a whole lot for it or digging too much into their budget. That's pretty much us. We also do promo items as well for like trade shows and career fairs and things like that. So pretty much a one-stop branding, apparel company.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. Jennifer, if you want to say hello and introduce yourself.
Hello, Jennifer Lau. I own Jen Lau Agency. Currently, I'm consulting to domestic nonprofits that have operations overseas, and I consult to a couple political campaigns. I am up for troubleshooting work and general consulting, but mainly I stay in the nonprofit arena.
Okay, excellent. Melissa, if you could please introduce yourself.
Yeah, happy to. So Melissa Albanese, I'm co-owner of American Web Devs, and we're a Pittsburgh area software development shop. And so we do a couple things. One is obviously we develop software, but a lot of times companies don't know what they really need. And especially in light of the disruption that the world is going through right now, a lot of businesses are having troubles keeping up and digitizing and really just knowing where to start. And so we come in and we analyze different business processes and help you find ways to do it better. Sometimes that means doing a fancy web application, and sometimes it just means integrating your systems, and sometimes it's just advice. And so we're just helping people out, helping small businesses, mostly in Pittsburgh, but open to outside of the Pittsburgh area as well. But we make the software that helps you just do your business better and give you the most return. And one thing that sets us apart is that we are very committed to our veterans. And so a lot of our developers are vets. And so a lot of the work that we give, we prioritize giving that to veterans. And that's one of the reasons why people love working with us, is because we're very, very pro veterans.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, let me see here. Last but not least, and I don't know why the system put you last, but Merav, if you could please introduce yourself to the rest of the group.
Hi, so my name is Merav. I'm from Israel, and my background is software developer, but actually I started to get as an entrepreneur before 3 years ago, and during my full-time position in a big company in high tech, I start my startup. In December, we launched. I'm the founder of myBenefitz, which is a mobile solution to manage and maintain all the loyalties program for small and mid-sized businesses, which is to strengthen the relationship between SMBs and the loyal customers. The problems, people have difficulties to manage those loyalty programs, so we manage and maintain that, and we also help to small and mid-sized businesses to extend their business opportunities. So I launched this. I have customers and users. This is you can download it if you want in Android, but it's in Hebrew. But this was before the coronavirus. I started in a university, so campus. It was really a big success. A lot of organizations came to me without investments. They asked me to a price, and it was really success. But because of the corona, this project was freezes. Now I'm doing some pivot to this idea. So I'm looking actually now for new founders or new co-founders to join me to the new pivot, or maybe to new idea, because this is opportunities for me before because I'm in between, like we can say between work. The new idea is to take the old idea and to make it to e-commerce for digital communities. This is a new idea. I'm doing survey and stuff like that. I'm now building again the idea. So if you are interested, you're welcome to connect me.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, everybody should be unmuted, at least from my side right now. I actually have a ton of questions that I want to ask everybody, but I will let everybody else go first. So does anybody have any questions for anybody else based on these introductions?
I have questions for Evan. So we are a team of two. We have a lot of contractors, but as far as just two, you could say full-time people, do you work with people like us, or are you more the 150 type baseline for how big organizations are?
Yeah, that's a good question. So yeah, a common misconception is like, oh, wholesale, they only deal with, bulk orders. No, our minimum order for embroidery is one.
Okay.
So yeah, we can help, just the individual, sales rep that, isn't getting their company gear like they want, or we can help, pretty much anybody with that. So yeah, polo, jacket, whatever. I mean, I don't like to turn away business because it's, you know, our product is going to be worn. It's not like something that, you know, is hidden or no one's ever going to ask about it. So you walking around, someone might say, oh, where'd you get that? I need something. And,
Totally.
you know, you never know. So that's why.
That's awesome. Okay. And then you mentioned you do promos as well for trade shows. Do you have those little webcam covers you can put a logo
Webcam.
on?
I'm looking at a webcam on the desktop computer. I'll have to look. I haven't
Okay.
gotten a request for that. But the way that works is like generally like the apparel too. So we have the manufacturers of the items, and then we link the end user, you know, company with the
Okay.
manufacturer. So what I have is usually, you know, way over my head. I know the top items, the most popular items, but you know, I can dig into what they have and see if I can find it. So we can get in touch after this, and you can kind of give me an idea what you're looking for, and I can try to match it up.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, if you don't mind dropping your info in the chat, that'd be
Yeah.
thanks.
Yeah, that reminds me, yes, please put your whatever contact information you want in the chat log. Because when this is over, I'll send out a copy of the video to everybody so you can use it in any way that you like. And I'll also send a copy of the chat log so everybody has everybody's contact information. And be aware, real quick, a little trick on YouTube where I load these videos. There is a way that you can start the video at a particular point in time as opposed to at the beginning. So you can create a link that starts at that point. So you can create a link that starts at exactly the point where you start to introduce yourself, and then use that on your social media so that when people click on the link, they start watching immediately at the point that you introduce yourself. So that's a neat little trick. Be aware of that. All right. Any other questions for anybody else based on the introductions?
I mean, Evan, I know where your place is. I live in Squirrel Hill South, so I'm over in Homestead. Normally, I'm over there almost every day. But I know I've driven by your place many, many times. So.
And
Yeah,
Merav,
we take up nice real estate there on 8th Avenue. We don't really get a lot of, you know,
walk-in.
Yeah, walk-in customers, exactly, because we mostly deal, you know, B2B. So I feel bad sometimes, but at least it helps with name recognition.
Right. Has it been in your family, or did you buy it, or?
Yeah, so it was started by a couple of gentlemen like 35 years ago, and they were of retirement age, and they wanted to go on into the next stage of their life. So it was kind of like I was their retirement plan. I acquired it from them a couple years, or about a year and a half ago.
Nice. Okay.
And that's a very common, by the way, business ownership transition is exactly that. Somebody wants to retire and somebody younger takes over. Merav, I'm going to send you also, when this is done, I get an email from a gentleman by the name of Kit Mueller. And he actually puts together sort of a list of sort of startup and entrepreneurial events that are happening here in Pittsburgh. I think that might be good for you to look at. With the additional benefit that now, because of the coronavirus, a lot of those have gone virtual. So you may be able to join some of these events from where you're at and make some connections. And I don't know how familiar you are with the area, but we got a lot of good universities, but one in particular that's very good for software and startups and things like that is CMU, Carnegie Mellon University. So anyway, I'll send you that email, and you'll see you know, everything that's going on from a startup entrepreneurial basis here in Pittsburgh, and then maybe, you know, some of those can help you.
Thank you very much. It will be very helpful.
Yeah, Merav,
By the way, how is the coronavirus over there? How are you being affected, like relative to what's happening in Spain or the U.S. or in other places?
So actually last week, the government start to open all the stores. Today, the children, part of the children start to return to school. We're doing some experience, like we give to some of the, we open some part of the market. People still, of course, don't go to the bar, stuff like that. We do it very carefully. Today it was my actually first day that I buy something in some restaurant, just take away. It was really exciting. This is a situation, and actually we do it very in a very carefully way. So nice.
How long were you quarantined for?
Sorry.
How long were you told to stay inside for?
We how much we already been in home. It was in the middle of March, so it's kind of 1 month and a half. It was like stage. Do it at the first. Don't go to work. Don't do that, and in the end we were in a totally isolation. But the number is looking good in our country, and now. Yeah, it's an experience. Let's see. I hope that in 1 month we all open. There is some exceptions that until the 1st of June, all the children going to return to school. Actually, by the way, for my startup, there was some announcement that students will return to university in just to come to exam this week. So I hope that this is going to return back very soon.
Yeah. It sounds like you were not as affected as we are. So even where we are, we're still all in the stay home stage. But there are certain parts of our state that have opened, like in more rural areas, but they're still like not totally open. Only certain things have opened. So.
Okay. Hey, Evan, let me ask you a question. Whenever we end, I just thought of something. Do you have a couple minutes to stay behind?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Because I want to talk to you about something. Anyway, so you and I can stay behind for a little bit after we end here. Okay. Anything else? Questions? Comments?
I wanted to ask Merav to give a little bit more info on your new project. It sounded interesting. I wanted you to elaborate a little bit on that, if you could.
Of course. Where to start? As I said, the problem is, okay, I'm a B2B2C, okay? So I'm in the middle between small, mid-sized businesses owner, which could be anyone, okay, shops, and between the loyalties, customers. I wanted to strengthen this relationship, okay? This is my place. The problem is that small, mid-sized businesses want to give, okay, most of the loyalty customers have paper or plastic loyalty cards, okay? They have difficult to manage that. They forget that at home, don't remember how much points they have and stuff like that. So we wanted to create a central platform to manage all the loyalty program of those customers in one powerful platform. This platform going to serve also as a marketing platform for small and mid-sized businesses. It's going to strengthen the relationship between loyalty customers and the small and mid-sized business owner. It's going also to extend the business opportunity of these businesses, which this is, I will explain. Let's say that, for example, you like to go to a gym, and after the gym, you like to go to a salad store. So the gym and the salad store could do collaboration between them and to create some, how do you say that, consumer cards. How say that these abilities have to the big enterprise like Fox, Golf, whatever. But for the small and mid-sized businesses, they don't have this capability. So I want in my platform to give that. What is mean that if the small and mid-sized businesses can do collaboration between them and create some loyalty program or some card, this card going to be in my app. Okay, so everybody is winning from that. It's all, so this is the main idea. And actually, what I did is I started the campus. I didn't try to catch all the city. I was like I wanted to be focused on a very particular customer, which I can also extend outside of Israel. Okay, students, they are all over the world. And what is campus actually? Campus is it's by itself a city. Okay, if you can see that there is gym, there is swimming pool, there is anything. So I wanted to make some app that that will give benefits for the user, for the small mid-sized businesses, and also for how say that, let's say, sub communities of students. For example, unit students or even sub communities, okay, inside. So this was the main idea. And because of the corona, okay, so before that I was focused on something offline, okay, to create online, something like that. But because of the corona, my go-to-market strategies was kind of become difficulties to perform, because I don't know when student going back, and I don't know what's going on. So the project is continue. Okay, I have a project, I have customers, I have user. It's I don't know what's going to be, but it's really good. The number is good, but um, I didn't want to stand on my place, to not progress. So I start to think how I can take advantage of this situation. And actually, because a lot of people now in the digital, e-commerce, want to connect each other, there is growing in the communities, in the big of the communities. Then I found out a new pain. What is a pain? If you have a communities, okay, and you have a big communities, you want also to make money in some point we want to elaborate it, you want to monetize it. And then I understand that actually what I started to do before the coronavirus is only the first phase of this idea. What I'm trying to do now is to create a platform uh, to manage and maintain the finance side of communities. It's not for all communities. I want to say, okay, small communities, maybe this is not my focus, but when there is a big communities, let's say that you are part of communities that bring you some product that you really like. So if the community become very big, it have a power to bring you, okay, project in a low price and more in a good quality. And let's say that you are part of that community in the Facebook, but the Facebook actually it's not a very convenient tools to see all your all the products you like. Even so, even you buy something, sometimes all your friends know it and become it. And the Facebook is actually for social. It's not really for to buy things. Sometimes if you buy something, you don't want that your friends will know that. So I am trying to take to develop an external platform i- outside of Facebook, outside of Instagram, outside of all the social, okay, all the social, and to manage and maintain their all the finance ads, which is I want to strengthen the relationship between members in the communities and between them, to make the community more powerful, more big, and then these communities will return back to the member. It will return back by give you a lower price project, give you more quality project. So it's like everybody is winning. So I'm trying now to understand more and more the pain, but I'm doing it by myself, and I'm looking for a co-founder. I'm looking for a co-founder, and because it's something that it's for all over the world, it's for all the communities over the world. Um, so it doesn't matter to me if it's co-founder from Israel or other country. I also have, by the way, I also have some experience with doing collaboration with people outside of Israel. So it's not my first time. I believe it. It can be. Um, so this is my idea.
Excellent. You know, one thing that I'm surprised, and maybe I shouldn't be surprised, I don't know, but I am surprised, is I go to a lot of networking activities related to entrepreneurs and startups here in Pittsburgh, even though my own business is sort of the opposite end of the scale, is people that are retiring and want to sell. But all the terminology, all the things that you have talked about is exactly what the entrepreneurial and startup community here talks about, all the terms and the minimum viable product and everything. So it's kind of interesting how that to me how that terminology has been, let's say, standardized throughout the whole world.
Look, entrepreneur, it's it's a work. It's like if I'm software engineer and I'm talking to another software engineer in another country, we are talking with the same terms. So also I see it in like entrepreneur, MVP, market fit. You know, you need to know that it's
Yep, totally. What is it? Totally addressable market.
Yeah,
Cool.
I
All
mean,
right. Well, anything else for anybody else?
well, what I was going to say to Merav is that what you're doing sounds very interesting. I'm really curious how a loyalty program will be able to be utilized, say, worldwide or multiple countries. I know they have many companies here in the United States have loyalty programs. Um, and so I would be curious to see how yours plays out either worldwide or multiple countrywide.
Really, I don't know. I don't know how it's going to be developed, but I can see I have some visions that it's going to be really beautiful. Look, I can say to you one vision that I have, okay? I see if you are a part of, let's say, some communities, which is global. So the owner of the communities can give you a benefit to store all over the world. So if you are travel all over the world, you get benefit discounts in all those stores because this is going to be the collaboration. So it's going to be very interesting. Actually, what I'm doing is part of just for people. I don't know if you are familiar with this. This is part of something that's called social customer, social e-commerce. It's about that we believe a lot of entrepreneurs believe that e-commerce, the consumer behaviors, your consumer behaviors will be based on your belong to communities. So
Yeah.
this is part of this.
And the nice thing is that this particular time in our lives where we're working virtually, so, nobody's going to stores. So we're all, you know, meeting people in this realm. So to have something like that, I mean, I work virtually anyway, but so let's say you had a loyalty program that was somehow connected with, say, coaches or, certain businesses that merged well. And to have a loyalty program that was totally based in virtual would be pretty neat. And you would benefit by going to this person versus this store to do the same thing. Just something to think about how this could all play out for you.
Actually, you know what? Let me ask this question, and this will be for everybody in the group. Before the coronavirus, let's say if you think about a 40-hour work week, how much were you working virtually? And it's interesting because there's some folks here that the nature of their business, I think, lends itself more to virtual working, and there's others that don't. So, if anybody wants to answer in any particular order of the 40 hours before the coronavirus, how much were you working virtual, if any?
100%.
Pretty much
A
me
lot.
too. Yeah.
A lot.
Mhm.
Really? Evan, you too?
I mean, I was working like 90 hours non-virtually. So I would say 10 hours virtually.
Okay.
Are
And
you
Jennifer,
still getting
what about
orders?
you?
Yeah, we're still getting orders and we're processing them. I really could do more at home. It's just, I don't know. being in the office and, you know, with everyone to be able to coordinate to the different like departments is just a lot easier. We honestly could operate this way, just because our warehouse doesn't have a whole lot of stuff in it. But we need to coordinate like the UPS deliveries and things like that. So someone has to be there. But
Let me ask you
I
this.
like it. I like being home.
Of like and correct me if I'm wrong, but when I think of like promotional materials, okay, like whether it's a pen or a hat or a mouse or something, I associate it with like trade shows and conventions and things like that. So first is a significant portion of your business coming from that, and then how much is obviously because of what's going on now, either delayed that you think you're still going to get the business at some point in the future, or how much of it is like just canceled for this year that you're going to have to wait a whole year to get that business?
Yeah, I mean, so we're like affected by the transitive property, basically. You know, like if our customers aren't ordering, we're not supplying. And if if our customers aren't coming in, you know, let's say restaurants, for instance, if they're closed, they're not gonna, you know, they don't have a staff to, you know, they don't need chef coats, they don't need aprons, you know, they're not turning a lot of products. So that's how it's affected. We've only been really supplying essential businesses right now, like hospitals and you know, different businesses that are still open, you know, senior living communities, things like that. So, you know, once they start picking up business, that's when they're going to have needs, and that's when we come into play. But it's like, it's kind of a domino effect for us. So where, you know, technically we didn't do anything differently. You know, we just don't have the same demand because they don't have the same demand. So it'll take until, you know, their employees start coming back, their employees start, you know, getting their stuff dirty, and or they need new employees and things like that. So I mean, it'll be a few months before the needs start popping up again. And yeah, and then all like promo item business is like a complete standstill, other than like we've done like printed masks and things like that that our customers have requested, but non-essential items like that, you know, like we in fact we were going to print t-shirts for a school, and my contact called me and she's like, just do 2021, don't even do 2020. So we just printed it 2021 and sent it to her because the kids aren't even in school.
Well, but at least you got the business though.
Yeah, she was, you know, she needs them, she just doesn't need them now.
Right. Yeah, at least she didn't cancel the order.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, she was really nice about it. So.
Well, anything else from anybody on any topic?
Not
Nope.
from me.
Thank you, Sal.
Thank you. Yes.
Well, yeah. Let me ask you guys this, because I was talking to Jennifer about this earlier today. We were the early birds. Is there interest in continuing to do this once we can go back to having like normal networking events and meeting in real person? I mean, is this something that I to be honest with you, I've been thinking and hesitating, should I try to continue this or not? So I guess, you know, you can tell me you're not going to hurt my feelings if this is of value or not.
So, being that I've been a regular this year, I like both in person and virtual. Virtual makes it easy because I had stuff going on before. I'll have something going on when we're done. And I don't have to leave my home and drive 40 minutes, 45 minutes to South Point. So yeah, I do like both options.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, listen. Thank you all for attending. Like I said, Evan, if you could hang out for a minute or two, I do want to ask you a question, and I will schedule one for 2 weeks from now. I will share the video, the video link. I'll share the whatever you guys put in the chat log. Merav, I'll send you the email from Kit Mueller. And I think that's all my homework.
Thank you. Nice
Thank
meeting the new
you.
people.
Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you
All
both.
right.
Nice meeting
Bye
you.
bye.
Bye.